Isaiah 61. The Ruach Adonai Elohim is on me, because Adonai has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to those who are bound, to proclaim the year of Adonai's favor, and the day of our God's vengeance, to comfort all who mourn, to console those who mourn in Zion, to give them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called oaks of righteousness, the planting of Adonai, that he may be glorified. They will rebuild the ancient ruins. They will restore former desolations. They will repair the ruined cities, the desolations of many generations. Strangers will stand and shepherd your flocks. Children of foreigners will be your plowmen and vine dressers. But you will be called the Kohanim of Adonai. They will speak of you as the ministers of our God. You will eat the wealth of nations and boast in their abundance. Instead of your shame, double portion. Instead of disgrace, they will sing for joy. Therefore, in their land, they will inherit a double portion. They will have everlasting joy. For I, Adonai, love justice. I hate robbery and the burnt offerings. In faithfulness, I will reward my people and cut an eternal covenant with them. Then their offspring will be known among the nations, their descendants among the peoples. All who see them will recognize them, for they are the seed that Adonai has blessed. I will rejoice greatly in Adonai. My soul will be joyful in my God. For he has clothed me with garments of salvation. He has wrapped me in a robe of righteousness, like a bridegroom wearing a priestly turban, like a bride adorning herself with her jewels. For as the earth brings forth its sprouts, and as a garden causes things sown to spring up, so Adonai Elohim will cause justice and praise to spring up before all the nations. Chapter 62. For Zion's sake I will not keep silent. For Jerusalem's sake I will not rest, until her righteousness shines out brightly, and her salvation as a blazing torch. Nations will see your righteousness, and all kings your glory. You will be called by a new name, which Adonai's mouth will bestow. You will also be a crown of beauty in the hand of Adonai, and a royal diadem in the hand of your God. No longer will you be termed forsaken, no longer your land termed desolate. Instead, you will be called, my delight is in her, and your land married. For Adonai delights in you, and your land will be married. For as a young man marries a virgin, so your sons will marry you. As a bridegroom rejoices over a bride, so your God will rejoice over you. On your walls, Jerusalem, I have set watchmen. All day and all night they will never hold their peace. You who remind Adonai, take no rest for yourselves, and give him no rest until he establishes and makes Jerusalem a praise in the earth. Adonai has sworn by his right hand and his strong arm, surely I will never again give your grain as food for your enemies, nor will foreigners drink your new wine for which you have labored, but those who have garnered it will eat it and praise Adonai, and those who have gathered it will drink it in the courts of my sanctuary. Go through the gates, clear the way for the people, build up the highway, remove the stones, lift up a banner over the peoples. Behold, Adonai has proclaimed to the end of the earth, say to the daughter of Zion, behold, your salvation comes. See, his reward is with him, and his recompense before him. Then they will call them the holy people, the redeemed of Adonai, and you will be called sought out, a city not forsaken. Chapter 63. Who is this coming from Edom in crimson garments from Bozrah? This one splendid in his apparel, pressing forward in his great might. It is I who speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Why is your apparel so red, and your garments like one who treads in a winepress. I have trodden the winepress alone. From the peoples no man was with me. I trod them in my manger. I trod them in my anger, and trampled them in my wrath. Their lifeblood spattered my garments, so I stained all my robes. For a day of vengeance was in my heart, and my year of redemption has come. I looked, but there was no one to help. I was amazed, but no one was assisting. So my own arm won victory for me, and my wrath upheld me. So I trod down the peoples in my anger, and to make them drunk in my wrath, I poured out their lifeblood on the earth. I will remember the loving kindness of Adonai, the praises of Adonai according to all that Adonai has granted us, and the great goodness toward the house of Israel, which he has granted them according to his compassion and according to the abundance of his loving kindness. For he said, surely they are my people, children who will not deal falsely. So he became their savior. In all their affliction he was afflicted, so the angel of his presence saved them. In his love and in his mercy he redeemed them. Then he lifted them and carried them all the days of old. But they rebelled and grieved his Ruach HaKodesh. So he turned to become their enemy. He himself fought against them. Then his people remembered the days of old, the days of Moses. Where is he who brought them through the sea with the shepherd of his flock? Where is he who put among them his Ruach HaKodesh, who caused his glorious arm to go at the right hand of Moses, who divided the waters before them to make himself a name forever, who led them through the depths? Like a horse in the desert, they did not stumble. Like cattle that go down into a valley, the Ruach Adonai gave them rest. So you led your people to make yourself a glorious name. Look down from heaven and see, from your holy, glorious, lofty abode, where are your zeal and mighty deeds? Are the yearning of your heart, your compassions withheld from me? For you are our Father. Even if Abraham would not know us, or Israel will not recognize us, you, Adonai, are our Father, our Redeemer. From everlasting is your name. Adonai, why do you cause us to stray from your ways and harden our hearts from fearing you? Return for your servants' sake, the tribes of your heritage. Briefly, your holy people possessed it. Our foes have trampled your sanctuary. We have become like those over whom you have never ruled, like those not called by your name. Oh, that you would rend the heavens and come down, that the mountains might quake at your presence. Chapter 64. As fire kindles brushwood, as fire causes water to boil, make your name known to your foes, so the nations may tremble before you. When you did awesome things that you were not expecting, you came down. The mountains shook at your presence. For from days of old, no one has heard, no ear perceived, no eyes has seen God except you, who acts on behalf of the one waiting for him. You meet him who rejoices in doing righteousness, who remembers you in your ways. Behold, you were angry. When we keep sinning all the time, would we be saved? For all of us have become like one who is unclean, and all our righteousness is like a filthy garment, and all of us wither like a leaf, and our iniquities carry us away like the wind. No one calls on your name or stirs himself up to take hold of you, for you have hidden your face from us and have consumed us because of our iniquities. But now, Adonai, you are our Father. We are the clay and you are our potter. We are all the work of your hand. Do not be angry much more, Adonai, or remember iniquity forevermore. Oh, please see, we are all your people. Your holy cities became a wilderness. Zion has become a wilderness, Jerusalem a desolation. Our holy and beautiful house, where our fathers praised you has been burned with fire. All our pleasant things are laid waste. Will you restrain yourself at these things? Adonai, will you stay silent and afflict us very severely? Chapter 65. I was sought by those who did not ask for me. I was found by those who did not seek me. I said, Hineni, Hineni, to a nation not called by my name. I have stretched out my hand all day to a rebellious people who walk in a way that is not good, following their own thoughts. These people provoke me continually to my face, sacrificing in gardens, burning incense on bricks, sitting among graves, spending the night in cave tombs, eating swine's flesh, and the broth of detestable things is in their pots, who say, keep to yourself, don't come to me, for I am holier than you. These are smokes in my nostrils, of fire that burns all day. Behold, it is written before me, I will not keep silent, but will repay, even repay into their laps, your iniquities and the iniquities of your fathers together, says Adonai, because they burned incense on the mountains and scorned me on the hills. So I will measure into their laps full wages for their former deeds. Thus says Adonai, as new wine is found in a cluster, and no one says, do not destroy it, for a blessing is in it. So I will do for my servants' sakes, that I may not destroy them all. I will bring forth offspring from Jacob, an heir of my mountains from Judah. My chosen ones will inherit it, and my servants will dwell there. Sharon will be a fold of flocks. In the valley of Achor, a place for herds to lie down in, for my people who seek me. But you who forsake Adonai, who forget my holy mountain, who prepare a table for fortune, who fill cups of mixed wine for fate, I will fate you to the sword, and all of you will kneel to slaughter. For I called, but you did not answer. I spoke, but you did not hear. So you did what was evil in my sight, and chose what I did not delight in. Therefore, thus says Adonai Elohim, behold, my servants will eat, while you will go hungry. Behold, my servants will drink, but you will be thirsty. Behold, my servants will rejoice, but you will be put to shame. Behold, my servants will sing for joy with a happy heart, but you will cry from pain of heart and wail out of a broken spirit. You will leave your name behind as a curse for my chosen ones, and Adonai Elohim will slay you. But you will call his servants by another name, so he who says a bracha in the land will be blessed by the God of truth, and he who swears in the land will swear by the God of truth. For the former troubles are forgotten, because they are hidden from my sight. For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth. The former things will not be remembered or come to mind, but be glad and rejoice forever in what I am creating. For behold, I am creating Jerusalem for rejoicing and a people for joy. Then I will rejoice in Jerusalem and be glad in my people. No longer will the voice of weeping or the voice of crying be heard in her. No longer will there be in it an infant who lives but a few days, or an old man who does not fill out his days. For the youth will die at 100 years, but one who misses the mark of 100 must be accursed. They will build houses and inhabit them. They will plant vineyards and eat their fruit. They will not build and another inhabit, nor plant and another eat. For like the days of a tree, so will be the days of my people, and my chosen ones will long enjoy the work of their hands. They will not labor in vain, nor bear children for calamity, for they are the offspring of those blessed by Adonai, as well as the descendants with them. And it will come to pass that before they call, I will answer, and while they are still speaking, I will hear. The wolf and the lamb will feed together. The lion will eat straw like the ox, but dust will be the serpent's food. They will not hurt or destroy in all my holy mountain, says Adonai. Chapter 66. Thus says Adonai, heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool. Where then is the house you would build for me? Where is the place of my rest? For my hand has made all these things, so all these things came to be, declares Adonai. But on this one will I look, one humble and of a contrite spirit, who trembles at my word. One who kills an ox is like one who kills a man. One who sacrifices a lamb is like one who breaks a dog's neck. One who offers a grain offering is like one who offers swine's blood. One who burns incense is like the one who blesses an idol. They have chosen their own ways, so their soul delights in their abominations. So I will choose their punishments and bring on them what they dread. For when I called, no one answered. When I spoke, they did not listen. But they did what was evil in my eyes, and chose what I did not delight in. Hear the word of Adonai, you who tremble at his word. Your brothers who hated you, excluding you for my name's sake, have said, let Adonai be glorified, that we may see your joy. But they will be put to shame, a sound of uproar from the city, a sound from the temple, the sound of Adonai who fully repays his enemies. Before she was in labor, she gave birth. Before her pain came, she delivered a male child. Who has heard such a thing? Who has seen such things? Can a land be born in one day? Can a nation be brought forth at once? For as soon as Zion was in labor, she gave birth to her children. Will I bring the moment of birth and not give delivery? Says Adonai. Will I, who caused delivery, shut up the womb? Says your God. Rejoice with Jerusalem and be glad with her, all you who love her. Rejoice for joy with her, all you who mourned over her. For you will nurse and be satisfied from her comforting breasts. You will drink deeply and delight from her glorious abundance. For thus says Adonai, behold, I will extend peace to her like a river, and the glory of the nations like an overflowing stream. You will be nursed, carried on the hip, and bounced on her knees. As one whom his mother comforts, so I will comfort you. So you will be comforted in Jerusalem. You will see, your heart will rejoice, and your bones will flourish like grass. So the hand of Adonai will be known to his servants, and his indignation to his enemies. For behold, Adonai will come in fire, and his chariots like the whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and his sword Adonai will execute judgment on all flesh, and those slain by Adonai will be many. Those who consecrate and purify themselves to enter the groves, following after one in the midst who eats swine's flesh, vermin and mice, will come to an end altogether. It is a declaration of Adonai, for I know their works and their thoughts. It will come about that I will gather all nations and tongues, and they will come and see my glory. Then I will set up a sign among them, and I will send survivors from them to the nations, to Tarshish, Pul, and Lud, who pull the bow, to Tubal and Javan, to distant islands that have not heard my fame or seen my glory. Then they will declare my glory among the nations. Then they will bring all your kinsmen from all the nations as an offering to Adonai on horses and in chariots, and on litters, mules, and camels, to my holy mountain Jerusalem, says Adonai. Just as Bnei Israel bring their grain offering in a clean vessel to the house of Adonai, I will also take some of them as priests and for Levites, says Adonai. For just as the new heavens and the new earth, which I will make, will endure before me, it is a declaration of Adonai. So your descendants and your name will endure. And it will come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Shabbat to another, all flesh will come to bow down before me, says Adonai. As they leave, they will look on the corpse of the people who rebelled against me, for their worm will not die, and their fire will not be quenched, and they will be a horror to all flesh.